You know what I mean? It can be very fast. It can go under what most control decks can do, especially Dragon. And PDK is PDK, right? It can eke out wins. We've seen it do it in tough spots. So we'll see how it fares today.
Right, it looks like it's going to be a Dragon Mirror. There's a tried and true PDK in the opening hand, but not really what you want. You kind of want to see if you can get ramp. And in the mirror match, it really feels like it comes down to the big options. So, how do we think this is going to play out?
Yeah, talk to us.
Yeah. First and foremost, I love Avowed Strike. I'm so glad to see someone playing that card. That card is insane. So it deals X damage to an enemy follower. X is equal to the number of Dragoncraft cards in your hand. And enhance, it'll do double that damage, and you get to draw 2 cards first. So it's basically killing whatever it targets. It's pretty sweet. And I'm really happy to see someone playing that card.
What's interesting to me about it is I don't think that the 7 play point enhance effect really comes into play that much. The reason I say that is because a lot of our control matchups that we see, you don't really want to be playing all of your card draw effects during the course of the game. So I feel like Avowed Strike is good, but you have to be careful with it. Obviously, that's not going to come into play today, but if JaZe is expecting to play against other control decks, which he has in the past, Avowed Strike kind of harder to use if you get the card draw off of it to kill a big follower.
Right, definitely. I'm not so, like, me personally, I'm not like hugely adept in PDK versus Ramp Dragon matchup. I'm not like the most adept in that because I never played it.
I feel this matchup is honestly in heavy favor to Ramp Dragon. Basically, you're playing one deck that has a bunch of small threats that can eke out incremental advantages, versus a deck that has more bigger threats or more big threats to basically just amplify the end game. So Vetu can definitely squeak by in an aggressive manner. It's just if he can't, if JaZe is still at a high enough life total at the end of the game, Vetu's not really going to be able to push 1 or 2 followers to just finish the game in a single turn. And JaZe will always have advantage with how he can kill the board or presenting a big threat or something like that.
Right. So I want to touch on something, and I want you to kind of elaborate on this because you mentioned it. But you brought up incremental advantage. Now, for the people who don't know what that actually is, why don't you inform them?
Sure. So, like, on given turns, like a simple way to define it is, okay, I was able to clear my opponent's followers while also dealing 3 damage. It's stuff that we talked about even in previous games, where they could eke out a little bit more damage than they did, play a little bit less safe, just so that they could ramp up how fast they can win over the course of a given game. So incremental advantage means I got to stick a forte, and you didn't have anything to do back to me, so you had to play defensively, so that's an advantage. Next turn, I can still be proactive and then get that advantage. Over time, a control deck will say, stop. All your stuff is dead. How much advantage did you get up until that point? If it was enough, then you can push me over with your endgame cards, like Zeus or another Forte or something like that. If you didn't, then those incremental advantages don't matter as much as card quality and endgame stuff, like what JaZe has in his Dragon deck.
Now, I want to point out something that I find very interesting. In the last game, I was just talking about Storm Ramp, okay, and how people were opting to play it over the Israfil Saha package with Ramp Dragon. But we see JaZe playing the exact list that it was. We see him playing Israfil. We see him. He's obviously going to be playing Saquil. He's playing that package.
Control. He likes his control.
He's playing that package. That's when we were like, well, you don't necessarily want to play that, and now he's playing it. It's like,
well,
wow.
Again, it depends on matchups. This version of Dragon is the best against aggro. If he knows that V2 is bringing aggro, this is what you want to be bringing. Storm can win, but it puts you into a lot more dicey situations. With Sahaquil, Israfil, and all this extra life gain, it actually just pushes over into aggro, saying you can't win the game anymore. I've gained too much life. My followers are too big. My effects are too strong. You let me get here. Now it's over.
Now, okay. V2 just evolved here. He evolved as Ivory Dragon. Do you agree with this?
again, playing into Breath of the Salamander, but you've already seen how many Breath of the Salamanders go by, right? So sometimes you just have to take your advantage. V2 knows he doesn't have any card quality in his hand, or card quantity rather. He's gonna have to win with this Forte and this Zeus most likely, so he needs to get damage in where he can. The worst thing that you can do as an aggro player against any control deck is not using your Evo points when you have the chance to. So I don't mind it, but he might have been able to save it for another Forte later down the road or something like that. So that's what choice.
That's what I'm thinking though. Like if I'm playing against you know, JaZe, I know his list. I know that he can play cards like Saha Quill, Zastrafil, or whatever. Would I really want to play my board into that? That seems a little weird to me.
It's, to be honest, it's hard, honestly. I don't know if the Evo is exactly correct. It's not the worst play, of course, getting the extra damage in. But a lot of that's going to stop to matter. JaZe has possibly, I think, one of the best 7 plays in the entire game, which is Oracle into Sybil to ramp you to 10. Because especially when you're playing as an aggro deck, when your opponent does that, you're just like, crap. They're now 4 turns ahead of me. Bahamut is now active. Every option in their deck is now active. And if I don't create enough of an advantage here, I can't win anymore.
Right. So Breath of the Salamander will kill the Sybil, but doesn't feel good. I mean, it's the only way he's going to get real value out of it anyway, though. This Israfil is going to feel like a monster.
This is the thing about Ramp Dragon versus not specifically Ramp Dragon. Now I have an Israfil in play, and you can't kill it. And I just wiped your entire board.
Yep. I played a Song of Sorrow. They all died.
Right. Now, JaZe could have even been more tempered with his play and played Saha Quill with the Israfil, but I think his mindset is, I can just put this Israfil in play and it's not going to die, and I can keep attacking with it, so why not?
JaZe looking comfortable right now. he looking
super comfortable.
He's like, man, just go can I go on the couch? Like, just let me take a quick nap or something. Like, he's looking real comfortable.
This is like embarrassment of riches time. He can attack with this Israfil, even play a Bahamut, kill his own Israfil without even caring about it, and still win this game, right? So
sounds funny, but it's true. I mean, he doesn't want to leave that there for sure.
No, and it's the only way to clear it at the moment. He could draw with the Oracle first, but I think Bahamut's a guarantee, so I would probably opt for the Bahamut.
Right. I think he's really thinking about it. Let's hope we know him as a player who makes very few mistakes, so let's hope he doesn't misorder this and play Bahamut first.
I doubt that will happen. One thing I will note about JaZe's deck that's much different outside of all the other Dragon decks is he's choosing to play cards like Avowed Strike and Star Phoenix for a lot of value in the mid game, which we don't see any other player doing at the moment. So I just want to take a step back and say that's actually one of the reasons he won last week, was because of Star Phoenix eking out incremental advantage, being able to be played multiple times over the course of a game, just for that little bit of extra oomph to finish his opponent off. So
Yep. I think we're about to see a Bahamut.
Yep,
there it is. Roar.
And Zeus still not able to be played yet.
Nope. Nowhere to be found. And
there
that ain't doing
not 2 followers to block it either.
Yeah, and
that
ain't doing it either. Is this as far as you go? Yes, it is.
Yep.
Sorry,
By the way, everybody out there, PDK is pretty good. Ramp Dragon's still really good. All right, it beats PDK. If you plan on playing against the mirror a whole bunch, this is a pretty good deck to do it with.
Right. Well, yeah, that was a beating. I mean,
this will be the true test, though.
Yeah. So, okay. Let me ask you this. All right. Why would you opt to bring neutral rune? Like, I'm curious. I'm genuinely curious.
Exactly what I said before. I like playing Ramp Dragon. The end. I want to play more Ramp Dragon, and that's what it is. It's another deck to jam Saha Quills and, cards that you want to play alongside of it in a deck. It's a way to play a late game value game, and I feel like that's where JaZe's strength really is. Like, he just knows how to play a value game very well.
That's not a good hand.
This is not a good hand, though. This is when you're playing Ramp Dragon, but you left all the ramp out of your deck, and you're just like, wait a minute, what happened?
Immediately punished for not ramping.
Right.
Like, immediately punished for not ramping. Oh man, this could get bad real fast.
Yeah, if there's not a card drawn in a relevant time frame here, I think JaZe might just be out of this one. Okay.
All right, he drew a Kaiser. Okay.
Now, saying all that, this Impartial Strix coupled with Hector could just randomly win the game if there's no hard removal drawn, but never mind. Okay, we do see a Diabolic Drain drawn, so I was going to say that could actually just run away with the game, randomly enough.
Well, it's not.
Right.
It's definitely not. Spiderweb Imp gonna protect that Blood Wolf, which is very significant, actually.
Yeah. Yep, wards especially, and I honestly want to see, instead of Angel of the Word, I want to see Angelic Knight more. I think preserving your board, like if you're playing aggro versus aggro, Angel of the Word is better. But if you're planning on playing against more control-y decks, the other Angel is better because it presents a ward that, again, does a Spiderweb Imp impression and protects your followers, but it also buffs their power. So I don't think we see that card enough is all.
Well, you know what? I haven't really tested much with it. I don't know. I'm just kind of addicted to Angel of the Word.
Sure.
You know?
It's not a bad card by any means, okay? They do very similar things.
Yeah. I like pinging things for one, you know? But let's just say it's the other card game player in me. It just likes pinging. But yeah, I definitely understand where you're coming from with the Angelic Knight.
So if I'm JaZe here, I think I have to just be board positive. I think the Strix is the best possible play. I think coupling it with Hector the following turn is the best possible play. Like, you just want to present stuff that says, you know what, Blood? Don't get too far ahead of yourself. I'm going to put some threats on the board. Get scared, okay?
Now he's about... Ooh. Oh, that's lovely. Snarling Chains. I don't really think there's a way he can protect from Hector, so I think this is the turn he's going to want to push as much damage as he can.
But if he does that, he's going to give up the entire board for the rest of the game. I think I would be tempered with Vetu right now.
So you're saying that well, I would have certainly have killed the Kaiser, but you're saying that you would take out the Strix right now?
I would have killed the Strix as well, yeah. I would have probably evoed Angel of the Word and run into it with my Spiderweb Imp, and then just gone face with the Blood Wolf, and then tried to take over the game with Caraboss, because now he's going to be put into a situation where that Impartial Strix is just going to keep beating his face turn after turn, and he's going to fall behind in the aggro game. Which is not where you want to be when you're an aggro player. It's because of the context of V2's hand. His hand isn't, I'm going to push for lethal immediately. It's, I'm going to eke out advantage with Carabosses, draw some extra cards, and hopefully win a longer game.
Well, see, the way I think of it is I think of it as, all right, well, when am I going to get to really push this kind of damage? You know, when am I going to really get the opportunity to do that? If I'm trading my entire board away, don't I just lose that way too?
I mean... Yes and no. At least this way, you don't just outright lose. You have a chance to win.
Okay.
Because now it's really on JaZe. He's got this power play. I mean, luckily V2 is playing like a half and half deck. He's got plenty of hard removal. If this was a standard aggro blood list, and he didn't have Diabolic Drains there, and they were just other random 1/1s or something like that, I think he'd be in a much worse spot.
Well, it looks like he's playing more. It looks like there's more Vengeance than Aggro Blood. It's just running Caraboss in it.
Well, right. Vengeance Blood with Caraboss, but it's just interesting, right? Like, you have to play within the context of your game plan. I think doing the extra damage was not bad, but I think it gives JaZe an out to actually push for lethal a lot faster than he otherwise would have been able to. That's all.
Okay.
So imagine an Evo on the Strix right here. If this Strix gets Evo'd backed up by a Grimnir plus like a Carrot, I'm scared. Like, yes, you can use double Diabolic Drain, but that's all you can do that turn, right? You can play your Dark General as well, but like, I mean, that's okay. It's not gonna win you the game though.
Well, no, it won't win him the game. I wanna take a real quick look at V2's blood list. See what he's rocking here. Okay, so his top end is literally just Caraboss. Okay. Yeah, alright. So yeah, his top end is just Caraboss, so well, this is gonna hurt.
Exactly the play. So this is the point of the game where V2 only had one Diabolic Brain. I think he would have just lost, period. Because he has two, he's still in it, but I think he's going to be on the back foot for the rest of the game. And I think it was simply because of that play of not killing the Strix when he had the chance, and that's all.
Well, it's certainly very interesting. He's playing a Belphegor, but... Wow. Okay, just draw another Diabolic Brain. Why don't you?
Okay. By the way, people watching, Diabolic Brain's a really good card.
Yeah. I mean, I didn't know that before you told me, so I'm really glad you informed me of it.
Right. Oh, wow. He's giving up board position with this Belphegor instead of... Wow. That's why I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm a little puzzled by that. I mean, that felt like...
He could have double drained and still kept his Belphegor.
Yeah. Well, this does allow him to clear the carrot, too, if he so chose, but...
Again, you have to be able to win the game, too.
Yeah, I know! I know, that's what I'm saying. Like, that's why I thought that before. It would have just been better for him to, you know, like he did, he pushed damage. You know, but we'll see what happens towards, you know, later. Goes.
Which into which, never bad. 3 cards.
Oh my goodness.
Into a Kaiser. Wow, look at that value.
I like how JaZe is very good at drawing the card to fill out his play. It's so good at drawing out his
Not a bad skill to have, let me tell you.
No, it apparently isn't, because he's a 2-time NGE champion.
That's right. I know full well the effect of how JaZe can top deck, okay? I know full well.
He just draws his curve. But you know what, man? I got 7 play points. I'll draw it. No big deal. And he does.
That is funny.
All right. So
now, luckily for V2, JaZe doesn't actually have access to a Gilgamesh, but I don't think that matters because we have Saha Zeus in hand, and I'm pretty sure that just pushes for lethal immediately. Yeah, exactly. Not. Oh no, he's at 10 now. Not 9.
He's at 10. Yeah, he's at 10.
Okay.
He can't push for lethal with that.
Overcounted by 1. He's right on the cusp, though.
It's okay, man. We're all bad at math sometimes.
You know, sometimes you need a math tutor, okay? You don't play OTK Roach for a couple seasons, you forget how to do math.
Like 1 + 1 is blue. I know how you feel, man.
That's right. So it's probably not going to feel good for JaZe to have to use the Saha Quill on killing this Caraboss, but you still get to push damage while dealing with boards, so I don't see any downsides here.
Well, let's see. V2 has 5 damage in hand. He has 1. So yeah, because he has a Sonic Chains, he has the Dark General. Yeah. I believe that is.
Plus the Caraboss push, so there's 6 damage. Yeah. So realistically, he's in a place where he can top deck for a win now.
Yeah, he could draw Razor Claw. He could draw Blood Wolf. Any 2 damage from that position would actually win, because it would be 3 damage because of the Caraboss.
Right. And there's no defenses for JaZe here. He doesn't have a ward to play, so I think he's just got to play very straightforward. You clear out this Caraboss, you witch a Sweets up, and you pray that you're not dead next turn.
Yep. So, you know, I want to just talk about the psychological effect of someone playing a Saha Quill on a Bahamut. Wow! He actually drew a Blood Wolf. That's pretty good.
That's close. That's 1 off lethal.
Yeah, it's 1 off lethal, yeah. The psychological effect of someone Saha Quill on a Bahamut just kind of takes me back to Zelda days. You know, like even if it does. It makes me feel pretty bad, man. You know, just.
Oh, actually, no. That's still 2 off lethal because you wouldn't be able to play the Snarling Chains and the Blood Wolf, so still a little ways away. But no, I completely agree with you. I completely agree with you. Whenever you see a Bahamut, it's like the impending doom, right? It's like, okay, they have a Bahamut.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah, it's like Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Please don't kill me. Oh, right. He doesn't have Zell anymore. Can't kill me.
Right.
Oh,
Zell
man.
was a pretty crazy card. I'm not gonna lie. Zell,
Yeah.
especially. My favorite combo wasn't even with Bomb. It was just with Ouroboros,
It's
just clean,
Ouroboros,
right? Like
yeah.
8 play point Ouroboros,
Doing this for you.
slap down
Yeah.
the Zell. I win the
And that's 11
game.
damage,
Feels good.
dude. That's 11 damage, dude.
Yeah, it's a lot of damage.
That's a lot of damage. A lot of damage. Okay. Oh, man. Nightmares.
So I like this. I think V2's just gonna go for a purely defensive play here. Probably deciding whether or not he wants to Snarling Chains or play his other disagreeable demon. I like the demon play.
I like Demon. Yeah, I like Demon.
This Caraboss
Alright.
doing work.
Yeah, well, Caraboss tends to do that.
Yeah.
Tends to work. But he's going to go back.
Israfil.
Oh, yeah, he's going to go up to 12. He won't be able to clear these demons, though. Well, I mean, he'll be clear 1, but he won't be able to clear both.
Wish I tried
All right,
So-
so what do we've got? We've got 3.
Well, he
7,
can dance. So he can dance
8,
into
9,
Blood Wolf
10.
and go face. And then, so that would be 4, 6 damage. Put him at 6. The
Plus
Caraboss,
the Caraboss pick, yeah.
it would go to 5. And then he would have the
Yeah.
Dark General the following turn, which would then be 4, and then 1 damage from the Caraboss. That's the win.
It could have been, however, Zeus.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Oh, yeah, right. There is the Zeus. Oh, but that doesn't actually do it. So, no. That's it. Because he'll play if he plays Zeus, then he doesn't die. If he plays Bahamut,
Right.
he dies.
He's dead, right. Bahamut's death. Zeus is a win over... Actually, it's not even a win over 2 turns anymore because V2 got to 6, and there's no extra storm damage out of hand from JaZe here.
Right. This is
So
a
at the
tough
moment,
call.
V2 kind of has this game on lock.
Yeah, this is a tough call for JaZe. It's a really tough call. Do I play the Zeus or do I play the Bahamut? Okay, he played the Zeus. Oh my goodness.
He knows. He
Stop
knows.
making the right plays.
Wish I tried harder.
It's like, jeez. Ooh, so he could kill the Zeus.
He can kill
He
it. If he plays Dark General and something else into it, he can kill it. Yep.
Yeah.
He could also
V-
play a Savoir into another Blood Wolf. No, that doesn't kill it, right?
No,
6/4, no, that doesn't kill it. Can't do that.
Yeah, he would have
Yeah,
to
it
use
has
the
to
Dark
be
General.
DJ. Or DG,
Yeah,
rather, Dark General.
Well, he could do Dark General into Snarling Chain. That puts JaZe at 3.
Wait, let's count this. Okay, so if he does Dark General, Snarling Chains, that's 7 damage to the Zeus. Attacks it with the Blood Wolf. Opponent's at 4. You play the other Blood Wolf. Can't do that. Don't have enough play points.
Can't do that. He
Never
doesn't have the
mind.
play point.
Yeah.
Yeah, he doesn't play the play point. So he would have
Caraboss
to
kind
play
of
Dark.
messes me up on that kind of math too, because it's like, wait, he's still at
Yeah.
7 play points? Oh yeah, that's right. He doesn't get any more.
Right.
That's the only hard thing about playing with that card, right? Is just you can't play more of the spells. You're drawing a bunch of cards, but you might not always be able to play all of them immediately. So, but I like this line. This line's saying, you have to top deck me. I've got Caraboss ticking. And there's
Ooh,
the
and
winning
look at
hand.
that. There's the winning hand. So, and he didn't get it.
No
He didn't
Gilgamesh,
get it.
no Zeus,
No,
Nada.
nothing.
no
Nada.
life gain, no wards, no nothing.
Nothing. 0. Tons of Bahamut's though. All
Yes.
the Bahamut's you want.
This
But-
is where JaZe, I think, needs to try to draw a card. Ooh,
Oh.
This song's for you.
That feels bad. That feels worse.
almost, almost, Unica, almost.
That feels worse. It's like 2 pure hearted singles, 3 Unica, still dead.
Does it the fancy way, it looks like.
You know what? Whatever.
Whatever, right. All right, so V2 showing up saying, you know what? You got to beat me with that neutral rune deck, man. I don't know how good that is. Arthur doesn't know how good that is. Nobody knows how good that is, really, because we don't see it very often.
I don't know how good at. Like I didn't know people were still playing it. You
Right,
know?
right. I still think it's a fine deck. It's just, it was against a very well played aggro deck from V2. I mean, V2, he drew a lot of cards that game, had the Diabolic Drains and all of the removal spells when he needed it. Like one less Dance of Death, one less Diabolic Drain. I think that game would have turned right around. But he had all of the cards that he needed.
So this is where things are a little different. Since this is not actually a ramp dragon list, does the matchup change a little bit? In terms of like we usually say, ramp dragon is very good versus PDK, right? So does that change since this is not actually ramp dragon? He's not ramping. He's going to take a really long time to get to those board clears.
Right. I think this is more of an even matchup. It's definitely not overwhelming like regular ramp dragon is. It's an even matchup, I'll say.
Okay.
Because V2 has regular ramp dragon endgame built in as well. He's got 2 Bahamut's, he's got a Zeus, so he's got enough stuff to deal with late game if he needs to. But he definitely has the advantage in the early game.
He's also got those Scythers, like Scyther, bro. I mean,
Scyther's really good.
And in this particular matchup, you can, answer this, but in this particular matchup, would you rather be? I think you would rather be going second, right?
Generally speaking, in more value-oriented matches or matches where I have to have my fortes to win, yes, I want to be evolution heavy here. Especially when playing against Neutral Rune, most of their advantage comes with the evolved mechanic because most of their followers don't do anything by themselves, right? So less evolves for my opponent means a lot more advantage for me, I think.
Okay.
Especially when they're playing cards like Israfel, right? Like, please don't have Evos left over for that, right?
Yeah, exactly. But playing Israfel on a board with no Evos or a Saquiel or anything just doesn't feel very good.
It's still fine though. I mean, it's still a monster that gained you a bunch of life. So
yeah, but it doesn't feel good though. It's not like, okay, I just cleared your board and I got this 10-10. I'm sitting with an 8-8 and gained 4. It doesn't feel as
sure.
It doesn't feel as
I'm not like you. I think playing Israfel is fine and dandy most of the time, Evo or not. But maybe not in the old days. But nowadays, I think Israfel is just fine. So V2 actually draws one of the only cards that gets him around the Impartial Strix with this Erd if he uses it to target that Strix. And then he can Evo over it and even trade to ramp, or he can push damage here.
I totally think that's what he should do. I'm just putting it out there. Or he can do this instead.
This is a fine option.
Yeah. I like the Erd.
He wants to save the Erd for extra damage. No problem with that. But it's one of those things. V2 just having the answer for these Strixes, especially with JaZe being on the play, having Strix, and just not really worrying about that card. I feel like that was one of the biggest cards in this matchup, and V2 just playing right around them.
What I find interesting about Neutral Rune is that Neutral Rune is not a very removal heavy deck, so it focuses a lot on like its followers like Hector to clear things, or it trades. Lots of trading. Lots and lots of trading. I find that to be pretty interesting. That I'm forgive me, I'm just a little puzzled about
it's like old Control Sword. It tries to do everything with its followers. The reason you play Rune is because it gives you a little bit of extra card draw, and it gives you a few combos to end the game, such as Illusionist with Gilgamesh and Zeus, and things like that. And that's realistically the only reason. It's not because it does anything fancy that other decks can't do. It's just very specific tech cards that JaZe wants to run, such as Petrification, Illusionist, and things like that.
Okay.
Because you can build this neutral package in any deck you want, right? So why Rune? Because that's what he wants to play. Either that or that's what Auto Aim told him to play, and that's why he's doing it.
Well, you know what? A lot of people do tend to get advice from Auto Aim.
That's right.
And he has been stated to be one of the best at coming up with lineups for tournament.
That's right.
A lot of people have endorsed him, so maybe there's something here. And I'm gonna have to ask Auto Aim, like, Auto Aim, what's up with the Neutral Room, bro?
That's right. That would be the person to ask. That would be the person to ask is Auto Aim, I think.
I'm gonna have to ask him, man. Have to have a conversation with him.
That's right.
All right.
So this is going to be a deciding turn. I think JaZe is really thinking about this Evo here, and how much he can push. I like it. I like him being aggressive here, especially before V2 has established any kind of board. This will also stop a lot of PDK shenanigans because you can only do so much with it.
You know, we've seen PDK like 0 times.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even seen it.
True.
It's like, man, she just doesn't want to be touched. Okay, you
It's
know.
Leave me in your deck. Don't worry about me.
No touching.
Don't
None.
touch.
I'm a little disappointed actually. I was kind of expecting to see like, you know, a lot of, you know, some more care to touch, bringing it back, but not really seeing it here.
Or not. I almost want to see this turn. I would have liked to see like a Scyther with a Dragon Tamer and clear out the carrot just to eke out some advantage. As opposed to just hard trading here. I don't think the 4 damage is going to matter all that much.
I think
I'd
he's
have liked to
saving.
see him try to take over the board again.
He might be saving that for the Forte,
Mhm.
the Tamer. You know, play Forte Tamer, and then the following turn play Forte Erd. You know, try to close the game out. I mean, the Forte would do 6, put him at 10, and then that puts him right at lethal.
Yeah, that's true. But again, I don't think the extra damage matters that much because it's over lethal, right? Because you technically have that Evo point left over as well.
Well, right. I mean, maybe. Well, no. I mean, I don't know. You can use the Evo to break their ward or something if it comes up. I don't know. It can happen. I don't know, man.
I think about all the small things. Like every turn, like my mind is working. Okay, what can my opponent do to get back into this game? What am I afraid of? I feel like taking over the board that turn as opposed to just a straight trade could have done some work, and the extra damage from Dragon Tamer I don't really care about because I already have super combos in my hand. I already have Forte into Forte Erd or Zeus if I want it. So I'm not worried. Plus I'm ramped, which means I'm going to get to do it first.
Well, he has ramped a lot. Or rather, maybe not necessarily a lot, but he's ramped enough. That's the
enough. Yeah, enough. And
Yeah.
he might actually be going into another ramp because JaZe has to be thinking, yes, killing that Ayala stinks, but you know, my opponent's almost at 10 already. I don't really want to let him have more damage. He might let it stay though. Maybe he doesn't want to ramp to 10. Yep.
Interesting. Very interesting. What do you think of that?
This is just easy game. This is another one of these games where if you just play out your hand, you have 2-turn lethal.
Yeah. Come on, V2. You can play. Actually, he can do a boat of damage with a Forte right now.
Yeah.
A lot of damage. Play the Forte, Dragon Tamer, Jam Dome.
Yep,
because he still has
Ayala into Unica, and then next turn play whatever I want. And by whatever I want, I mean Forte and Erd.
You don't play anything else. You just play that.
Right.
Okay, so V2's he's really thinking about this. And I mean really thinking about it. But I mean, is there really that much to think about?
There aren't that many plays in his hand. I mean, the only other thought is to maybe Dragon Oracling to draw another card before you Forte, but that's about it.
Okay. So we see if there it goes. Okay. Now we're on the same plan.
Strictly speaking, I think I would have tamered the Ayala.
Just to keep
because again, I don't need the extra damage. Because I know that Israfil's not an option next turn. You're only going into turn 8. There isn't this big life gain spike that's going to happen. And
wow, what a draw
then
that
it would have stayed in play.
What a draw that was, though.
Yeah, Hector was needed.
Wait. No, he has enough. He can definitely kill the Forte. He can definitely do that. That Hector was like the draw.
God draw. Yeah. Without Hector, he was just dead, right? So now he's not.
Yeah. Wow, what a draw.
That might have actually just saved him the game. Now, that is to say that Zeus can still come down next turn and present a huge threat that can't be dealt with by anything outside of doing a whole lot of stuff this turn. But JaZe can save his Evo point for Israfil next turn, so that can clean up a Zeus by itself. So, just depends on how he plays this turn out.
This is rough. That Hector draw.
Hey, you said it, man. He knows how to top
I
deck.
know. I know. It's a very valuable skill to have.
Yes, it is. Absolutely, it is.
Very valuable skill to have. Wow. Like, oh man. Feels
Crazy
rough.
thing about this too is, again, that bridged the gap to actually being able to play Israfil. So now he's going to be out of lethal range.
Yeah. See. Wow. So he'll be at 14. Forte Erd actually only does 12 because of Evo. That's right out of range.
I mean, this can't feel good, right? Playing an Israfil
No.
and then like Evoing your Israfil into a Zeus, that can't feel good.
At
But
all.
it's not bad. You still get 2 damage in. You get to push with the rest of your board. You get to get out of lethal range. I mean, this does everything you want it to.
Yes. I was a little bit like, okay, you know, and I don't think Vetu played this incorrectly. I think he actually played it the way he should have, given what card he had. It's just when you draw Hectors when you're in a time of crisis, you know.
Yeah.
you know, going back to Eagle Man, but it's like when you're in a time of crisis, man, you just draw a Hector.
right.
You're like, no big deal, bro. We're good. We're good.
Now, if he
So-
doesn't play the... Ooh, he didn't play the Israfil here.
Oh.
So he's gonna die.
Oh.
JaZe making a very rare misstep.
Wait. He's not dead. Yeah, he's not dead.
Oh, the Hector doesn't go away until the end
yeah,
of
until
the
the end of
beginning of your next
the-
turn. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
So he's not dead. This
Okay,
actually.
Okay, I got really scared for a second.
Yeah, but now V2's dead because Zeus, Evo, face.
Yep. So JaZe, never mind, not making a rare misstep, making an awesome play and winning the game.
Yeah,
Good
I was
on
like,
him.
nope, he's not.
There are no misplays for JaZe.
There are no misplays. There are only good
plays
top
that we
decks
didn't
and
see.
perfect plays.
Yep.
That was such a close game for Vetu as well. I mean, he was only one step away from making the lethal blow, and any
Yeah,
kind of misread of the situation, JaZe would have just lost.
We talked about it. I mean, honestly, it came down to that one draw. It set him up with a ward over 2 turns, as we saw with the Illusionist play. So that was the key card to draw, and he drew it.
Illusionist, too, really coming in handy. I know